Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 4:45 p.m., August 21st, 2025. This is the third video of the day. I got another one I'm doing tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a topic that I want to talk about tonight in regards to a video that I've seen that caught my interest. And it was very interesting because what this person had said in a video, I was like, I agree. I basically agree. I want to add on into what he was saying. You know what I mean? I was going to talk about Mercedes Moné because I got some words about her light-skinned ass. You know what I mean? Because she said something about WWE that's like, man. But I'm going to say that more than likely for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Reason why I sound like loud is because I got my phone on my shoulders because I'm actually putting my clothes together for mañana. You know what I mean? I got work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So, Chris Jericho, right? I made a couple of videos this week about Chris Jericho and the rumors of him returning to WWE. And it does seem like, especially with the reports that we got yesterday and especially today saying that, you know, this was from WrestleVotes. Shout out to WrestleVotes. Like, I think it was Joey Boots from WrestleVotes. Like, WrestleVotes is extremely accurate with this stuff, right? Where he mentioned how, you know, Chris Jericho, there are people in WWE that, you know, will welcome him back in a heartbeat. And they expect a deal to take place, you know, once his contract is up. Basically meaning that they've been talking with a third party. So it seems more than likely, like never before, that Chris Jericho is basically on his way back to WWE. You know what I mean? Like, the more reports that come out, it seems more clear like never, ever before that he's basically done with AEW at this juncture. Like I said, I'm not shocked. And when it happens, right, he's going to have a lot of influence. He's going to have a lot of influence in terms of, you know, people coming into WWE like never before. I said this a couple of days ago about his influence, but now with these reports, you know, he's going to have, you know, put it this way, Chris Jericho, right, is going to have the keys of, you know, of getting WWE to bring certain people from AEW onto the company, right? Because when Chris Jericho leaves, right, if and when Chris Jericho leaves, right, you're going to feel it. AEW is going to feel it. Not only they're going to feel it, but also, you know, what do some people, the elite, are going to think when Chris Jericho leaves, right? If and when Chris Jericho leaves, right? Chris Jericho he definitely is going to have influence in bringing people in. When I mean bringing people, you don't think the elite is going to see this and because they already see what's going on with AEW now. They're like, this is not our vision. This is not their vision. This is not their fucking vision. You know what I mean? And the talks, you know, because after Chris Jericho, who else is there? Which major influence is there from AEW that, you know, that is left? Huh? Who? You know, I say the elite because their contracts are up in 2027. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think Chris Jericho is going to have, I'm telling you right now, if and when Chris Jericho leaves and goes back to WWE, and if you don't think he's going to have put in a good word for the elite to jump ship from AEW to WWE, you are smoking some good fucking shit. You are smoking some good ass crack. You know what I mean? It's not only the elite, because now more than ever, if and when Chris Jericho leaves, I can more than ever see that happening, period. But you also have other people there, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Jon Moxley goes back, right? I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if, Adam Hangman Page goes back, goes over there. I wouldn't be shocked, right? A lot of the OG talent. And here's the thing, too. You got to also think about this, too, okay? WWE is going mainstream at this point. Like, especially with the ESPN deal and such. Chris Jericho can be a legit asset to, what they're doing. A huge asset, with the podcast, the Talking Jericho podcast and everything else. I mean, the opportunities would be endless for Chris Jericho. It would be endless. WWE can definitely offer that AEW can't offer. You know what I mean? And he still got his podcast going, but the stuff that they can do, the career, retrospective, all these things, all these fucking things, like I said, he's going to open up a floodgate of people to come right in. Why? Because that lets you know everything that you need to know about, the direction of AEW. Everything. And Chris Jericho is one of the most important people. He's one of the most important people out of everyone's history in AEW. And again, I'll even read you the report. Like people within WWE expected deal to be made once Jericho's AEW's contract expired. You know what I'm saying? It's expected. So, and mind you, the other thing too, and there's also what I was hearing too, how, WWE and Triple H are now on good terms. Where did we hear something like that before? Let me see. Triple H and Punk, right? Triple H and CM Punk. And where's CM Punk at now? Where's Punk at now? So this is, like I said, this is going to be something to really, really look out for. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, the sickos are already in their feelings right now because of this. They're mad right now. They're also mad about WWE's new deal with ESPN. They wish that it was them that was on ESPN and not WWE. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wish. Hold on real quick. Yeah, I hate that. I hate getting like these robocalls and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that shit. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, right? Like Triple H and Triple H and Chris Jericho are, trust me. Remember, the same thing was said about Punk, and look what happened, right? Since Punk got there, when's the last time you heard a fucking issue about Punk? When's the last time, right? So, like I said, I remember making a video a while back saying that AEW is basically pushing out a lot of their OG talent, and you see it. You clearly fucking see it. You see it. You know what I mean? You clearly see it. And it seems like they're doing more and more and more, right? So like I said, Chris Jericho has an influence in AEW that not a lot of people have, and the fact that, more than likely a deal is expected to take place by December, right? That lets you know that the company that you watched in 2019, right, is no longer the exact same company that you enjoyed back in 2025. No longer. You know what I'm saying? Because the shows are trash. AEW has no traction. They have no traction whatsoever. If they had any traction, they would have been fucking, they would have been, they would have some momentum. They would be talked about. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff would happen with this company, a lot. But the fact that you're not seeing that with AEW, it hasn't even been like that in 2 years, right? That tells you since CM Punk's departure, since Punk's fucking departure, AEW has not had traction at all. At fucking all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now, if and when Jericho leaves and goes back to WWE, the shakeup in that company is going to be monumental. Know what I mean? We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. But this is going to be very, very, very interesting in the next 4 months. You know what I mean? I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I will be coming with another video tonight, so I'm going to definitely holler at you tonight. All right? Peace.